Welcome to another episode of the City Boys Show. We are back in the winning ways.
Isn't that nice?
Dude,
Isn't it nice to be winning?
I forgot what it felt like.
Bro, do you know what was the last time that we scored 5 goals?
When was the last time?
The last time we scored 5 goals was last year at Red Bull Arena against Toronto, 5-4 game.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Last year of April, right? And you got that. Let's give some credit where credit's due because we're not statisticians.
We are not.
We suck at stats.
Yes.
But Scott Churson, shout out to him.
Shout out to Scott.
He's a beast. But we exploded, bro. This is the game that it felt like it was coming. It didn't feel like that last game. I'll tell you that. Let's not act like all our troubles are
right
gone.
before this game, I was like, are we really going to lose against the worst team in the league? I felt that way.
No, it was scary, and then our troubles were solved immediately. I think we had a couple shots. 5th minute of the game, Bakra already had a dangerous opportunity to score.
Your nickname is Baki. Rhymes with Tati.
Wait,
that's what it is.
Before we get into it, Sean Johnson was back. Let's give him a little picture. Let's give him a little feel of what happened in the game. So before the game, they gave him a little standing ovation. It was a little clap from the supporter section. They gave him a little love, so that was cool.
Yes.
And then once the game started, it was over. It was time to boo him. It was time for him to hear what it felt like to betray us, basically.
Every time Sean touched the ball, he was being booed. That they were just as in sync as our team was today, the supporter section.
Yeah, exactly. It was cool to see that there was that intensity, and they were like, nah, yes, you were our ex-goalkeeper. Yes, you helped us win the MLS Cup, but we're going to give it to you tonight. And we gave it to him, all right?
You know,
at this point, he might have helped us win, so maybe we should have been cheering him on. That's my Johnson. Every time we score a goal on him.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few shots that he definitely couldn't block, but some of them he could have.
Yeah.
He's got... Maybe it was a good time to lose Sean Johnson.
I'm forgetting all the goals right now, to be honest.
All right, well, you talk to the camera while I unlock the password
but
here.
let's get straight into for our first goal, which was, what was our first goal?
Our first goal was actually pretty late in the game. I just want to talk about it before we get there, before we talk about all the good news. The first 30 minutes, we were not looking good. Toronto was kind of in charge.
I would not say that. Also, no, I don't agree with that at all.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Those first 10 minutes, dominating. There was no threat to us. So I don't necessarily agree with that. The 13th minute, I know Matt Freese had a big save. I forget against who, but it was actually a really good save.
But there were 2 shots against the back post where they almost scored on us. And luckily, there was no score. But we were not looking great.
Ask the Toronto head coach if he ever felt like his team was going to win this game.
He actually said, and we have the press conference, we live streamed it if you guys want to check it out. I thought my team played very well for the first 30 minutes. And something that I want to talk about before I thought we were going to win 5-0. The press box here is very awesome at Red Bull Arena. Everything else about Red Bull sucks. But the press box is pretty cool. You're very close to the coach. Cushion was very, very frustrated for the first 30 minutes. You could hear him yelling at his team. You could say, you're not doing the right plays. He was yelling at Chanot. There was a lot of yelling going on for the first 30 minutes. You could tell, I'm sorry, before I start, that I think Cushion was playing for his job today. I think he saw this game as a must-win, and he kind of leaded to that during the press conference.
I don't think he saw it as his job, but I think he also saw it as what Cushing said during the press conference was he was talking to his staff, and he felt like there was a game that was going to happen where they were going to explode. It was just a matter of time, because we've seen them have a bunch of shots and no goals. That's been the theme. And this was the time, and it finally exploded. So I don't necessarily think he was fighting for his job, but I will say this was an important game to him. And you could tell he was adamant in that sideline. He was frustrated. And even after the game, he said, hey, look, this wasn't our best game. He said, I think Charlotte was our best game, and we drew there. So you could tell he still wasn't completely satisfied with the win. But
my man pulled a Kobe Bryant. What's there to be happy about? It's not over. It's not over.
It's true.
What's there to be happy about? And what is there to be happy? I mean, there's a lot to be happy about.
Well, this basically grants us into the next round, unless I forget what it is. I think Toronto needs to win by a ridiculous amount.
Toronto needs to win 5-0 or 6-0 against Atlas to potentially make it to the next round. So pretty much this was...
We sealed it, basically.
We sealed it.
Which is great. We're going to see some more NYCFC soccer. That's what we want to see. We're going to get some more Muncev. Let's talk about Muncev. First goal, first full game starting. How do you feel?
Man, he looked nice out there. His shot was on the 38th minute, I believe it was. Well, whatever. First goal by Muncev. It was a powerful kick. You know what it was? It was a striker's goal. All right, and seeing a striker back on the team, you could tell it makes such a big difference. So not only was it the goal, but it was the spacing. Did you notice? You know, they weren't as compact as they usually are. Their back line had to stay back.
Yeah.
And you could tell Cushion was out there coaching. He was telling Muncev, make the run, make the run. I think what Cushion was frustrated about in the first 30 minutes was he thought there was opportunities where the long ball was available, where you could get it over the head. Muncev has the speed, or Baki, I'm sorry. Baki has the speed.
Your new nickname
and
for him.
I'm obsessed with that nickname. Baki had the speed, and sometimes they didn't give him the ball, right? They stayed with the short passes. And I think the more this team has chemistry, they're going to be even better, and we're going to see more of Baki. I think he's going to have a great season. Maybe a Messi-esque season.
Let's calm down. This guy's way
I'm too excited.
This guy's way
I've
too.
never been this excited in New Jersey in my entire life.
But talking about Musa, Nick Cushing after the game, he gave his credit due, but also he still wanted more from him, which was interesting to see. I mean, this is his third day with the team basically, and Nick Cushing wasn't satisfied. I mean, if you score a goal and you had a dangerous opportunity, I think that's more than enough to feel like, all right, he did good. But I think he's saying in the long run, I still want to see more from him. 3 months from now, this game isn't the quality game I want to see out of my star striker.
Yeah, something he mentioned in the press conference was, there was times where he could have hit it the first touch, but then sometimes he went for the second, third pass, or a later touch. And so I think he wants to see more of a killer out of Baki, and I see that killer coming, man. I feel like it's ready. It's your third day. You're still new to the job. You're still trying to figure out who are the cool people at the water cooler, trying to figure out who you can make jokes with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's there. He's working. He's doing the orientation videos, but he's still contributing early on. I like it.
Let's first half, 7 shots, 6 on goal. It was an impressive game. I mean, all right, we're getting all hyped up.
Yeah.
It was a 5-4. This is a game we needed to win.
5-0, but
Yeah,
yes.
5-0, you get me.
Yes.
It's a game that we had to win, and we won it.
Yes.
So, are you excited by it, or is this like, this should have happened? Like, I should have seen this coming. This is a bad team in Toronto. They didn't have Insigne. What did you think? Like, is this a game we should have won, or is this a game that now it's expected?
So I think we should have won the game, but definitely with the way the team's been playing, that was not the expectation. I think people were, what's that word? Cautiously optimistic we could win this game.
Yeah.
But no one felt super confident about it. Maybe this is the game that opens up the floodgates and we can score the goals that we haven't been able to score in the past. But am I 100% confident that this is going to, break the dam and we're just going to be flowing in goals? I think we need to be a little, what's the word I'm looking for?
Even keel?
Yeah, sure. That's a great word. Even keel on the expectations of this team. I do hope that we make it at least out of the first round of the elimination stage, but let's see. Hopefully this is the floodgates that we needed.
And I think we talked about this. The team we might play, and I don't know how it's all going to play out, the team we might play is either Red Bulls, which they won, I think, their first game.
Yes.
Or the New England Rev, or one of the Mexican teams. If we play Red Bull, that seems like a really winnable game. I don't know if we would host or they would host, but we'll see how that all plays out. But I think it's a very winnable game if we go and we play against the Red Bulls. Hopefully we're at home.
Is the curse at Red Bull over? Are we okay with? I'm not okay with playing at Red Bull because this drive is deep.
I think this is the first time we ever scored 5 goals. No,
No, we scored 5 goals last year in the same place.
Was it at Red Bull?
It was at Red Bull.
Insane.
That is insane. Maybe it's more lucky than we think. This is where Tati won his last game against the Red Bulls.
Maybe this is our spot, but please don't let it be our spot. I hate traveling to Jersey, even though these press box seats are fly.
Terrible.
Anything else? Anything else that stands out?
I think it was nice to see Santi passing. This is my crazy theory. There's a tinfoil hat here.
It's not going to make any sense.
Everyone was watching the Messi game. If you saw the Messi assist to the guy on Miami, who was the assist to?
Taylor.
Miami. Taylor. The assist to Taylor. There were 3 people around Messi. You know what he did? He passed the ball out to the GOAT, the greatest player of all time. Did not try to break the ankles of 3 players. He passed the ball, and they scored. You know what I saw Santi do a lot this game? Not try to get past 3 defenders. distributing the balls to the wings, allowing his teammates to be involved, not putting the weight of the game in his shoulders. And I think when he distributes, it is the best Santi you get. And I thought he played really well today. And so I hope he keeps watching those Messi games and he keeps trying to clone the Argentinian.
Do you attribute any of that to Munsif? As in, we have a true striker now. Maybe he's filling those spots that need to be filled, which is freeing up Santi.
Maybe. I mean, yes, I do think it plays a part. Do I still think Messi played a part? Which sounds crazy.
No, Messi did not play a part. Toronto's defense played a part, which Toronto's defense is not great, let's be honest.
Agreed.
Their goal differential in the regular season is minus 13. Also, they've not won an away game, so this is just consistently with how Toronto's played. So I will say, although I'm optimistic, I'm excited, this is a bad team we just played, and we should have won.
So in your opinion, the reason we won this game wasn't because we're a good team. It's because Toronto's a bad team, and we're just really good against Canadians.
Well, like you said, it was a thirst trap. We needed to beat our ex-goalkeeper, Sean Johnson. We were showing off. We were like, our ex is here. We're going to do our thing. That could have played a role in it.
So, yeah, I think it played a bunch of parts here. Let's give credit to everyone else who scored a goal on this game, right? Not just the Munsif goal.
Jason's back. These homegrown players are not playing, man.
Every game we've won a homegrown. Well, that's not true. We haven't won any games, so let's not say that. But the homegrowns keep scoring.
And you know what's interesting? Nick Cushing said after the game, look, Jason was frustrated that he didn't play against that Atlas game. And so he wanted to go out there. So he was frustrated that he didn't get his start for Atlas, which is rightfully so. I mean, he's been playing better, as we see. And I think this was a message to Nick Cushing. You better start me. I'm scoring goal.
Also, does this mean that we're going to see more of Andres Jason
versus Talis Magno?
And not only that, but who do we have on the right? If you think about it, he played, really, Ledesma played on the left for Talis Magno. Oh, true. But Pellegrini didn't start. We don't have GP. Does Jason become now a right-hand man until we sign someone new?
I still think it's... Well, Talis Magno, I still feel like we'll get into that lineup somehow.
But you put him on the...
No, but then you'll shift people around and then he could take a spot. It's hard to bench Talis Magno, even though he hasn't been playing, Talis Magno ball that we would like to see.
Although I like to give credit, Talis Magno actually had a really great assist today.
Who did he assist to again?
He assists to... Our last goal was from...
I have no idea. It was too many goals. That's a good thing to have.
That's what happens when we don't have time to...
Prep the show? Yeah, we went straight from the press
conference. Good stuff up here. But Talis Magno actually had a really great no-look pass distributed to the left. And we got it. Well, our last goal was from... Nope, can't remember.
I'm blanking out.
Yeah. But Talis Magno actually played well at the time he's here. But I think at this moment, on the right side, Jason is our best option, especially if there's a quick turnaround. I know we've potentially signed a winger.
No, it's not official, but there's still talks going on.
There's still talks going on, okay. So pretty much I think our best option on the right for some time will be potentially Jason. I like to see more of him, honestly. I think every time I've seen him play, I'm like, oh, wow, this guy's different. He's not flopping as much. He's distributing the ball better. I feel like he's one of the players that actually provides second chance opportunities. A lot of the players on our team, after the first goal doesn't go in or the first pass doesn't go in, they kind of stop on the play. Jason's always that guy who goes for that second opportunity, doesn't give up on the play. And I think we need more of those players. I think that's why Pellegrini got some playing time too, because he gave up on the play. He didn't give up on the play, but he was too slow. Jason has a bit more speed on him. He just doesn't have the physicality that some of the players have.
Yeah, I would agree.
But in general, I just think I think he's really improving under Cushing, and I think I want to see more of him.
Agreed. So after the game, Sean Johnson was getting a lot of love from some of his players. I wanted to ask Nick Cushing if there was any word said, because Toronto's head coach before the game said that Nick Cushing came up to him and said, hey, look, you have a really good goalkeeper on your hand. I hope you're treating him right. So it was interesting to see that dynamic. So it would have been interesting to know if Nick Cushing had any words with Sean Johnson. We never found out.
You hear that? You hear that? Cushing's like, I hope you're taking care of my ex. She don't love you the way she loved me.
Now, one last thing. As a huge fan is in the back, so if you can't hear us anymore, the rest of this show is pointless. But Matt Freese gets the start over Barraza. Do you think this is a consistent thing? Do you think it was a fatigue thing?
You know what? Originally, I thought it might have been his play from last game, but maybe it was just fatigue. It was a quick turnaround. It was a Leagues Cup game. Barraza didn't play great. I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of fatigue. I think the margins between Barraza and Freese are just not huge.
True.
And so why not give Freese an opportunity? So I think it's a combination of both.
Today, if you had to choose starting goalkeeper for NYCFC,
Stop.
no, I want to know. People want to know. I want to know your opinion. Matt Freese or Barraza?
I don't like this.
Well,
I'm going to choose Barraza. I still feel like we haven't seen enough of Freese, and I know Barraza hasn't been great. You know what? I'm kind of 50-50 at this point.
Yeah, you
I'm
see,
kinda
now I'm the
50-50.
counter of that. We've seen Barraza enough to know, all right, this guy might have some flaws, and he might not be on that upward trajectory that we wanted him to be, right? While Matt Freese, we haven't seen enough of him, but what we have seen, there's glimpses. You like it. You want to see more. So maybe there's a chance that Matt Freese is that guy that we want to finish out this season. So I don't know. I still think it's going to be a starting job battle. I don't think it's settled now, but it was interesting to see. I don't know if it was a fatigue thing or more of a you didn't play so great last game, Barraza. I think it was probably you didn't play so great because he had a pretty bad game against Atlas.
That makes sense. Yeah. I'm sad because I was pitching Barraza
You were
all
pitching.
season long.
Well, you were pitching Barraza. You were pitching Nick Cushing. You're looking like
Cushion won.
he won one game since April, and you're excited.
I'm saying we got first game with the striker, and we win. I'm just saying.
Oh, it's right here. It's right
Oh
here.
no.
We're malfunctioning here.
Oh no.
I think that's it. Well, we could have a shorter episode this one.
I think so too. I think maybe when we know who we come up in the next round, we can have a preview for the next game.
Yeah.
But at this moment, we do not know who will we be playing next.
Can we get a little interview for Trey Ball? Trey from Blue. Trey from Blue Balls. Thoughts on the game?
Oh, I'm absolutely furious. No, this is a good look for me. I'm absolutely furious that we won 5-0. I think Cushing out, everyone tear everything down. Everything is bad. We still suck, even though we just beat a team 5-0. Even Toronto's so bad that even beating them 5-0 is not indicative of something good. I'm incapable of watching soccer and enjoying it. I have to think about who needs to be fired and who needs to start and who needs to finish.
Trey is live reenacting all of Twitter right now, all the negative Nancy's.
It's all
And you're
fine.
doing a
I think
very good
everyone's
job.
happy. I think it's good. I think people are happy that we won in general. You know, there's negative Nancy's always, but this is a good thing.
Do you think
Like-
this is the game that kicks off like a winning streak?
Who knows? That's
Is
what I
this
thought
the
about.
Goody moment that everybody keeps talking about?
I will never say that again because that's what I thought after our last win against was it
Dallas.
Montreal?
Oh no, yeah, Montreal.
I thought that after Montreal, but so no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say I'm happy. I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna think about who needs to be fired or anything. We're getting kicked out, are we? Sorry, we have passes. Oh, that got scary. That reminded me of
Initial thoughts on Munsef?
I love it. I'm happy. Obviously, it changes the game. It changes the dynamic. I'm not gonna burn too many takes on your podcast. I have my own.
Fair enough.
Super cool. Very happy that we have a 9. And, you know, Santi himself after the game was saying it changes everything to have someone that can stretch the defense, always making little runs. I love to see it. So it's all up from here. We got him. We got Risa coming in. We got maybe Julian Fernandez coming in to take that spot that
exciting.
Jason wants that you were talking about. So it's all, you know, you just go home happy about this and then you wait for the next game and see if they can build on it. I mean, we can't analyze if this team has changed anything until next game. That's what I think.
Fair points. Women's World Cup. What's the score?
1-1 in the 83rd minute.
Holy shit! We need a we need a win.
We need a win.
Well, you anytime in group stage you prefer to win.
We need a win.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm done.
I think that's it. Later, y'all. Thank you, Trey, for joining us. Peace
out.
out, y'all.
Bye.